Every morning, millions of children climb into the same giant rolling banana, and nobody questions it. Out of every color on Earth, red, blue, green, black. Why did we collectively decide that school buses must be bright yellow? Well, let's find out. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden logic behind everyday things, consider subscribing now, because once you see the world this way, you'll never unsee it. Chapter 1. The color that outsmarts your eyes. Yellow isn't random. It's strategic. Human eyes detect yellow faster than almost any other color. In daylight, especially in peripheral vision, yellow grabs attention more quickly than red. That matters because drivers don't always look directly at what's in front of them. They glance, they drift, they get distracted. Yellow cuts through that distraction. It's also highly visible in low light, fog, rain, and early morning conditions, which just so happen to be prime school bus hours. Long before modern LED headlights and reflective coatings, officials needed a color that would stand out in almost any environment. Yellow wasn't just visible, it was dominant. Chapter 2. Before the banana. In the early 1900s, school buses weren't standardized. Some were blue, some were red, some looked like wooden wagons with benches nailed inside. Safety wasn't exactly the priority. Then, in 1939, a man named Dr. Frank W. Sear, later called the father of the yellow school bus, organized a national conference in the United States to standardize school transportation. Educators, transportation officials, and manufacturers gathered to solve one problem. How do we make school buses safer? They debated everything from seat spacing to window size, but the biggest decision was color. After testing visibility and contrast, they landed on a specific shade originally called National School Bus Chrome. Today, simply known as National School Bus Glossy Yellow. Yes, the color is that official. Chapter 3. Why not red? This is where it gets interesting. Red is associated with stop signs, brake lights, danger. So wouldn't that make more sense? Actually, no. Red can blend into certain backgrounds, especially at sunrise or sunset when the sky itself turns reddish. Yellow, on the other hand, contrasts strongly against both urban and rural landscapes. And here's the key. Black lettering stands out sharply against yellow. That's why school bus is always written in bold black at the top and on the sides. The combination creates maximum readability from a distance. It wasn't about what felt urgent. It was about what was scientifically undeniable. Chapter 4. Psychology on Wheels. There's another layer, conditioning. Over decades, drivers have been trained subconsciously to associate that specific yellow with caution and children. The moment you see it, your brain shifts modes. You slow down. You scan the sidewalks. The color became a behavioral trigger. In other words, the bus isn't just painted yellow. It paints instructions directly into your brain. Chapter 5. Why it spread around the world. The standard began in the United States, but its effectiveness was so obvious that other countries adopted similar high-visibility colors for school transport. Even in countries that don't use the exact same shade. The logic remains: bright, high contrast, impossible to ignore. Yellow became shorthand for safety. Not because it's cheerful, because it works. Chapter 6. The Science of Peripheral Vision. Here's something most people don't realize. Your peripheral vision is more sensitive to certain wavelengths of light. Yellow sits near the peak of human visual sensitivity. That means even when you're not looking directly at it, your brain still picks it up faster than darker or cooler colors. And when children are crossing the road, milliseconds matter. So the color choice wasn't artistic, it was biological. Chapter 7. Visibility versus weather. Think about early mornings, fog, mist, rain, gray skies. Dark-colored vehicles blend into those environments. Yellow reflects more light and creates stronger contrast against dull surroundings. Even in snowy regions, yellow pops against white. It's engineered to be noticed. The bus doesn't rely on you paying attention. It demands it. Chapter 8. A moving safety signal. Modern school buses now include flashing red lights, stop arms, reflective strips, and reinforced frames. But the foundation of their safety system is still the paint. That bright yellow body acts like a giant caution sign rolling down the street. It's one of the simplest design decisions in modern infrastructure and one of the most effective. Sometimes safety isn't about complex technology. Sometimes it's just about choosing the right color. Chapter 9. The color that became law. Once yellow proved effective, it didn't just become tradition, it became regulation. In the United States, the exact shade of National School Bus Glossy Yellow is legally defined. Manufacturers must match specific color formulas. It's not kind of yellow, it's chemically precise yellow. Why so strict? Because consistency builds recognition. When every school bus looks the same, drivers don't hesitate. They don't analyze. They react. The moment that familiar yellow shape appears in traffic, your brain doesn't ask questions. It already knows the rules. That uniformity is powerful. It turns millions of separate vehicles into one unified safety symbol. Chapter 10. When yellow isn't enough. Interestingly, the color alone isn't trusted to do all the work. That's why school buses also use black trim around windows. The dark framing increases contrast, making the windows more visible and helping drivers recognize the bus shape from farther away. Even the roof is often painted white in hotter climates to reflect heat. Every detail reinforces visibility. And then there's the stop arm, the flashing red lights, the reflective tape along the sides. The yellow grabs your attention. The rest makes sure you don't ignore it. It's layered safety design, simple but intentional. Chapter 11. A global signal for children. Even in countries that don't use the exact same shade, bright yellow has become globally associated with school transport. It has transcended paint. Today, you can show someone a simple silhouette of a yellow bus. No words, no explanation, and they immediately think, children, school, caution. That's the power of repetition over time. A color turned into a message turned into instinct, an instinct turned into protection. Conclusion: the power of simple decisions. The yellow school bus isn't yellow because it's fun. It isn't yellow because kids like it. It isn't yellow by coincidence. It's yellow because in 1939, a group of people asked a simple question: what color gives children the best chance of being seen? And nearly a century later, that decision is still protecting millions of lives every single day. The next time you see one pass by, slow down. That giant banana isn't just a bus. It's a moving lesson in how small design choices can quietly change the world. If you've reached this far, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.